Welcome back, guys. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Sin TV. Sin TV stands for Smart Intelligent News, and of course, I am Belajan Quita. So I would like to apologize to my audience yet once again. I have been way behind with the video schedule. Sin TV is actually going to be posted on Wednesdays, so that's the reason why I've kind of been behind. Is I've been having just so many camera issues and computer issues, and I wanted to make sure that I bring you the utmost quality when it comes to this program. So that's why I've been gone for so long, but I digress. So today's interview is with one of my favorite guests in the whole wide world, and I am talking about John Antorino. Not only is he fine, okay? Like, I love interviewing people, but this was the first time that I could feel like all the articles of my clothing like coming off, because he is like just so awesome. I mean, not once again, he is a good looking guy. I will admit that. He is the type of guy that you do feel your clothes coming off. But all jokes aside, he's a philanthropist, he's a model, he's an actor, he does it all. And the thing that I really appreciate about him is just the generosity that he has in his heart to help out others. And of course, this interview, I did it during Valentine's Day weekend, and unfortunately, due to the computer issues and all this other crap that I had to deal with, I was not able to post the interview during this time, but I wanted to make sure to get it out because this is an interview that you do not want to miss. And without further ado, here is my interview with John Antorino.
Thank you so much, John, for coming on once again. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. No problem.
Yeah, you had all of my ladies all messed up from the last time you were on. So they're like, get him back on. I'm like, all right, I'll get him back on.
Here I am.
There you are, yes. I want to start off with, and I think this is just absolutely interesting, is this contest that you are running. And you're doing a Skype and FaceTime Cyber Date. Can you kind of go into more details about how this came about?
Well, I think I told you before, I do a lot of charity work. I'm very passionate about helping sick kids with cancer and their families, while they're going through treatments and stuff like that, to help offset some of the costs, gas to go to the hospital and food and the bills, the doctor bills and hospital bills and stuff like that. So I help with a lot of that stuff on my own. I put my own money towards that, and then I just had an idea about doing something for Valentine's Day, and then piggybacking it with the romance novel stuff, because of love and romance and passion, and then piggybacking a little contest with it so people could help, for a good cause, help this young boy and his family. He's fighting colon cancer, so I just thought about it, and I contacted one of the authors that does the book covers, and I did a book for her before, a cover for her before, and she was all about it. So basically, I did an interview for her, and then pictures, of course, and then people can go in and donate PayPal, $10, get you a chance to win a Skype date with me. That was her idea, by the way. And then second and third place gets signed books from me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and that's the thing that I appreciate about you, is that you're always doing charitable work, but you do it from your heart. Because
I love it. It's truly my passion. It really truly is my passion. My passion is really helping people and giving back. The work that I do to make my living is also my passion, but my true passion that makes my heart feel good is this stuff, the charity work and helping people. That's really my passion. You're right. It does come from my heart.
It comes from, it really does. And, I was sitting down after, our previous interview, and I started, I was like, let me do some more research about him. And I continued to read about you, and there was one question that I had that was on the back of my mind. And I believe I asked this the last time, and maybe you will have a different perspective on it, but that is, you're a good-looking guy, take good care of yourself, you have a heart of gold, you believe in philanthropy, you do all of these things. Why are you single?
Oh boy, people ask me that all the time. To be honest with you, I'm very, very selective. I'm very picky on who I date and who I talk to, who I give my time to. I was in a 3.5-year relationship, and I got out of that not too long ago, so I'm back out there, so to speak, kind of. I've been engaged twice already, so that didn't work out. So like I said, I'm very, very picky. People sometimes tell me I'm too picky. I don't think there's such a thing as too picky. People are like, you're way too picky. You set the bar too high. Well, to me, honestly, I have everything to offer and give someone. Why should I settle for less or sell myself short? So I just want what I want, and I'm not going to just settle down with someone and be unhappy. A lot of people do that today. I hear it from strangers. I hear it from a lot of my friends. They're unhappily married. They have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They're not happy. I mean, to me, life is short. I want to be happy, and I'm to be honest with you, I'm happy with my life right now, with my career and my family and helping people. And if I had someone special in my life, it would make it that much better. But if it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'm fine. So that's how that goes with me.
Right, and for me, I'm very curious to know. I'm like, okay, John Antorino, you're very successful. What qualifications are you looking for? Because I think sometimes when it comes to, with Valentine's Day coming up too, I think about this myself, and that is, we're in a business where, we do inform, but we also educate and we entertain people. So sometimes you have to, and I completely agree with you, is that you kind of have to filter people a little bit more critical than the average person, because let's be honest, we're not average people, and this is not me being conceited in any shape or form, but I feel like once you get to a certain level of success, you have to be more
Absolutely, yeah. I agree. I completely agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, you just don't know today how people are with what their motivation might be. If someone wants to hang out with me. I've been through things before where people might just want to bump up or something. You want to hang out with me to be, go to the events and the parties and just tell their friends they hung out with me, which is, to me, is kind of silly because I'm so humble and down to earth about everything that I do. And I don't know, like for me, to be honest with you, I don't want someone in my industry. I want someone the opposite of my industry. I want the girl next door. I want just a cute, pretty girl next door, humble, down to earth, sweet, caring, giving, family oriented, not into the party life and, all out there on Facebook and all that stuff. I don't want girls like that. I've done that before. In my 20s, I had lots of fun and, did all that stuff. But at this point in my life and my career, and I just want just a quiet, low-key kind of girl.
Yeah, no, it makes absolute sense, because I know, there are a lot of women who, the industry that you do is very easy to be objectified. So I think it's really important that you know exactly what you want, and I really wish more men had that mindset that you do, because
right.
They'll say that they want let's say, for example, they want someone who is smart, but then they're going to go for someone who is stupid because the ease of access. And I think I really think that changes as you get older, because, like you said, when you're in your 20s, you're like, all right, I want to have fun and I want to, explore and see what's out there. But I think once you get to your 30s and your 40s, you have to start being a little bit more, have a stronger filtration system of who you bring around, especially, you care about your family deeply. And I think that, for you, and this is just coming from, talking to you the last time and reading more about you, I think for you definitely need somebody who is more private and somebody who would not care about your status.
Right, yeah. I sometimes I meet girls or I'll date a girl and she's so in awe of the stuff that I do. And to me, that's not even the best part of me. It's like, okay, that's what I do for a living. That's how I make my money, but that doesn't define the person that I am. And, then there's other people that want to hang out with me just because of that. Like I say, they want to go to the events and they want to be seen and they want to try to get a bump up. They want to try to get a part on the next film. Can you get me in this photo shoot? Can you get me in this film? It's hard to differentiate, what people's motivations are. Like I said, I really would like just, someone, like maybe someone that my mom met and she knows the mother or something like that. Like she's a sweet girl and they know she's a sweet girl, and then I could meet her and see for myself rather than just meet some strange woman out there and not know what is what, So it's like you said, it's hard to filter out that stuff. It's really hard, and I have a good filter too, by the way. I'm pretty good with that stuff.
Oh no, I could tell. You know why? Because right from the get-go, when I asked about description, because I'm being 100% honest, and that's how I've always been. Is I feel that 50% of men get it, but 50% of them don't get it. It's kind of like the girl is pretty, yes, and she, has all the physical attributes that you're interested in. However, you got to think long term. You have to think in the sense of, okay, does this girl really like me for everything that I am and everything that I stand for? And vice versa. That's why, my friends give me a hard time about that, and they say the same thing to me. I'm very critical. To me, intellectual capacity does play a vital role in how I view a lot of people, because I feel like if you talk the talk, then you should be able to walk the walk, and you should be able to present yourself in a way where I don't feel, if I can't take you in front of my family, then obviously I can't be interested in you. But that's just me. I know some people are different that way.
Right. No, exactly. But, the thing is that with a lot of people today and guys in general, to be honest with you, they won't date a girl unless she's smoking hot. She's got to be gorgeous. Yeah. She's got to be gorgeous. But if she's gorgeous, but what else does she bring to the table? Does she cook? Does she clean? Is she educated? Can she speak well? I mean, I look at the whole package. I don't necessarily need someone that's a model and drop dead gorgeous, beautiful. I've been there. I've been through all that. I've dated all kinds of those women in my industry, and I mean, they're fun, I guess, but I mean, like at the end of the day, am I going to be with her 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now? I mean, I don't know. So, like I said, it's tough out there being single. It really is.
Right, and I want your opinion on, of course, there's a show that it just has been, very, very popular on Bravo, and it's very interesting to me. It's called Millionaire Matchmaker. And, of course, Patty is, she is the matchmaker to, some of the most multi-millionaire successful people. And the reason I find this show interesting and why I'm asking you this is because I look at most of the guys on that show, and I'm like, I don't really think they need help on certain things. So what do you feel, maybe from a guy perspective, of things that you've seen men do now that you think are just absolutely crazy? Because this show, I've watched from time to time, and the men on there do some things where I'm like, yeah, that's why you're single.
I mean, are those guys really looking for a relationship? Are they looking for just fun? I mean, are they looking for their long-term mate? I mean, the people on that show, I mean, do they really need to be on that show to have someone find a woman for them? I mean, I don't know a lot about that show. I mean, I've heard about it, but I don't know, I don't know a whole lot about that show. I know there's a woman that she's like screens all the people and tries to find your match, your ideal match, what your criteria fits. So I don't know a whole lot about that show.
Yeah, it's the reason why I asked you that is because I feel that now, to a certain extent, and it's coming from both male and female, perspectives, is that we've gotten very, very lazy, and and for some of us, I feel there's a lot of closed-mindedness, because I feel like now, the thing that's popular now is, of course, interracial unions on television. I mean, there's Scandal. There's another show called Sleepy Hollow, Being Human. And these shows, like, showcase that. And it's really funny because our society will say, this is just from my perspective as a woman of color, they will say that, that's not it's not appropriate, but we can sensationalize that. And I'm just kind of curious, from your opinion, coming as a white, man, because that's the thing that's popular now, is seeing women of color that are, right now it's African-American women and white men. So I kind of wanted your perspective on that, because I just think it's really interesting now that people are now trying to cross over into different ethnic groups and not understanding that, it's a regular relationship, just like anybody who goes with anybody.
Right. For me, like I said before, to me, beauty starts within. I don't look at someone's color or their skin or even the way they look. First and foremost, to me, beauty starts within. It has to come from the heart and the soul, the person you are, how you treat others, and just how you live your life in general. So to me, that's where the beauty starts with me. Of course, you got to look at someone and be attracted to them physically, but like the most important part to me is how do they treat me? How do they treat their parents? How do they treat their children? How do they treat others? What do they give back to the world? To me, that's the most important thing. The race part is so secondary to me. To me, women are beautiful in their own way. Everyone is beautiful.
I appreciate that. I'm sure the women of color who watch my show are like jumping up and down because it's so, and that's why I asked you that, is because it's refreshing to hear that now. Like, I would say maybe 5 to 7 years ago, that was not necessarily the case, but I just appreciate men who can give that a chance, and think of it that way instead of what they see on TV. Because I tell people that all the time. I'm like, the way you see a relationship form on TV is not always the way it forms in real life. I mean,
not at all. Not even close. Not even close.
No, it's not. This is why I hate this show, like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, is because of that. They make it seem like, like my friends are like, oh my gosh, I would love to just meet a guy like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, your probability of you meeting a man like these guys are usually you're just going to go to the supermarket and Fabio's just going to be there and he's just going to be all up on you.
Don't get me started on those silly Bachelor and Bachelorette shows. Oh my God, to me, I already know for a fact because they wanted me for The Bachelor in 2008, I believe it was. I went in, I met with the producers and all the casting people, and it was because I knew already because some of my other friends had been on reality shows, and they all told me that they were semi-scripted. So your friends need to understand that those shows, whatever they hear and see on those shows, it's not reality. Going back to what you said, it's not. It's the probability of that being like that are so slim. So each person on those shows they each have an earpiece in, and the producers kind of tell them what to say, how to start the conversation, what they want them to do. So it's not like those shows are really reality. They're not.
It's hilarious. My mom, women all over America are just and that's why I feel like the idea of romance is so convoluted now, because you got these TV shows that are just sensationalizing. Who wouldn't want to be with someone who's just like yourself, And that's not the case. And I always my friends say I'm killing their dreams, or most people tell me I'm a dream killer. But I'm more of a realist to tell people okay, you know what? There's that guy, and then, there are some other guys that may not, or women too, that may not fit, exactly your your ideal? Because it blows my mind the kind of men that are interested in me. I'm like, are you seriously interested in me? Like, you have one tooth and you drive, you drive a GNC, But if I talk to them over time, there might be some similarities in the conversation. So to me, I feel like you can have that structure, what you want and what you're interested in, but you still have, it's a funny game, really. You have to have a little bit of an open mind, too, because it amazes me, and it amazes me, too, the type of women that are interested in you, because I look at them and I'm like, I'm sorry, mama, but you do not have a chance. Like, your hair is in Puerto Rico, and your outfit is in Chicago. It's like, so you got to check yourself, and I always tell people that. I'm just kind of interested because, to me, I feel like if a crazy woman came up to you, and we're friends, I am gonna check them because I'm gonna be like, okay, hold on one second. You're interested in John Antorino, who has done all these amazing things, and you look crazy.
That's funny.
It is, because to me, I feel like, if you're, and that's what I love too, is how romance works, because sometimes it's very unconventional, but you still have to have common sense. I see some of these women, and men too, are guilty of it. They're walking around with somebody, and I'm like, yes, there is somebody for everybody. Because
absolutely. Yes, that's true. There is, yeah.
They look crazy, and they act crazy, and and these reality shows, they don't help that, because like now my friends are all warped in the mind, and the type of man that they want is, this guy who is a business executive on the beach or something, carrying his, his tablet, or he's riding on a Segway or something really absurd like that. And I'm like, I hate to break it to them. I'm like, look, your chances of meeting someone like that is pretty slim to none. It also depends where you are regionally, too. Because I know the Midwest, I'm sorry, I know people are going to give me crap for this, but it's 50-50 here. I meet guys here that are nice, and I meet guys where I'm like, you should not be existing right now.
Yeah, it's tough out there. It really is. It's a different time today. It's a tough time today in our world and in our country with everything. I mean, just life in general. But people, I've found in the past few years that people have become more and more about me, about themselves. It's so self-centered today. It's just go on Facebook. It's all about everyone else. It's all about themselves. It's never about other people and helping others and giving back. I mean, there's some out there, but it's such a me society. It actually drives me nuts because I'm the extreme opposite of that. So, the chances of meeting, I mean, there's good people out there. I don't want to sound jaded and, bitter and stuff like that. There are good people out there, but they're not falling out of the sky and the trees. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough. It's a tough time.
I really wish they did. I wish. Like, I told my friend that, I'm like, can I find a man that just works for Microsoft and just be done? Like, sometimes people look at me and they be like, oh, this girl is so high maintenance. And I'm like, okay, as a bigger girl, yes, I have to be a little bit more critical, because for the curvier woman, I don't know if you're coming after me because you're a chubby chaser, or are you coming after me because you're you're actually legit. But I want to transition into online dating, because this online dating thing it's crazy to me how it's blown up. 1 in 6 relationships actually do start online. And have you given that a chance?
No, people have been asking me about that. They said, why don't you try online dating? Well, I'm like, it'll be kind of weird for me, being in the industry that I'm in and doing everything that I do. It would be kind of a little bit odd to me. It's funny you mentioned online dating. I've had people literally stealing my pictures and using them on online dating websites to meet people. And I'm thinking to myself, what happens when the person goes to meet whoever they're dating and John Antorino is not showing up? It's whoever the person is using my pictures. It's crazy.
Yeah, like, I mean, for me, the thing that I think sometimes women just, like some women, they use online dating as, just another outlet. I don't feel it's the end-all, know-all, even though there's been a lot of success. I mean, there's websites like eHarmony that has claimed that, they have connected, hundreds of thousands of people together. But I'm kind of like, okay, let's be realistic here. Online dating is just like offline dating. It is an attractive game. And, I mean, the statistics, too, are really hilarious. Like, they said that for example, white women are more likely to get just crazy messages over certain, and if you filter, like, things like that, like filters and things like that can really, dictate compatibility. And I honestly feel, too, with online dating, it's kind of like, okay, let's just put all the ugly people together and all the attractive hotties get together. Because when I see these, like, quote-unquote success stories, I'm like, whoa, these two people are ugly. These two people are super, like, 5-star, quote-unquote, hot. So I'm like,
but you never know what you're going to get, though. You know what I mean? You never know who's going to show up at where your meeting point is for your date. Who is the person you're going to meet? You don't know. It's a hit or miss. You don't really know. How old are the pictures they're using? Are they 10 years old? I mean, it's scary. It's scary because you just don't know what's going to show up to the date. I mean, I rather meet someone. I mean, I meet people when I'm grocery shopping. I meet women on flights. I mean, I'd rather meet someone, have a nice spark and connection with them in person. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever try online dating or I'm bashing it at all. But, I mean, to me, I'd rather meet someone face-to-face and have a connection and say, hey, let's get together sometime. So we know that we're legit, we're real, and we kind of know, a couple minutes of each other at least, and we know what we look like. I meet people in the grocery store all the time, and it's, to me, it's like, wow, okay, that was nice, 2-minute, conversation, but, it was nice. At least we know.
I wish I could meet someone like you in the grocery store. I'd be going to the grocery store every damn day.
Thanks.
I would go out of my way because to be honest, like I said, before, you represent that 1% of men that actually makes sense. I mean, like I always tell my friends, I said I must be the mental health attractor because I always seem to attract these men that are just crazy. It's like the one where you want to just mace them in the face when you see them.
Well, that's common. It seems to be more and more common that people are just out there. It's so crazy today. I'm telling you, I can't stress that enough. I mean, I know you know it as well, but it's a tough time. It's a different world today. That's why I'm focused on my career and my work and traveling. I'm taking care of my mother and helping as many people and sick kids as I can. To me, that I'm happy with my life. I'm really I'm a happy person. I'm high on life. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't get into any of that stuff. I'm just a happy guy. So, if I had someone to share everything with, that's great. And if not, I'm fine. I'm fine with that as well.
Let's transition into your career. And what has been going on since the last time I talked to you?
Well, we're wrapping up Escaping the Holocaust. That'll be done probably in the next 3 weeks to a month. We'll be wrapped with that, and I'm excited and happy about that, to be done with that. And getting ready to shoot a couple more book covers. I'm in preparation for that, so I'll be shooting 2 book covers within the next 2 months, and then I'll be out there looking for some more TV and movie roles.
And that should, that should be pretty easy for you. I mean, if I had a six pack, I would be taking names. Like, I'd be in every movie. If there was a Naked Gun spin-off, I would be there. Anything that, and that's what I appreciate about you too. Like you're open to different types of roles. Can't wait to that Holocaust thing you're doing. Like, I'm very excited about that. When that comes out, I'm definitely going to watch that and review that.
It's pretty crazy because that role is so, such the opposite of me. The character, the role that I'm playing is such a vicious, heartless killer. You know, it's crazy because when people meet me, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that's you in the pictures, and you're going to be portraying that." I'm like, "Yes, that's part of being an actor. That's what you do." But it's sometimes when I step back and I look at some of the footage and the pictures myself, I'm like, "Oh my God, that's me." It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing too, is you gotta be flexible because you don't want to be, you know, typecasted. Like, you just don't.
Right.
You know, it's like Screech, you know, for example. You know, everybody just calls him Screech. Like, no one knows his real name.
He's forever Screech. He's going to be forever Screech, no matter what.
Exactly. You know, it's like Carrot Top. You know, like, everybody thought of him as this scrawny, you know, ginger, and now he's like a roided up ginger. Like, he's all.
Yeah, he sure is. Yeah, yep, that's true. Yeah, so I can play a wide range of work. You know, I'm starting to get submitted for some love stories and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to show, you know, my range in the next couple of years, to show my range more and more, that I can portray, you know, a Nazi killer, and then, you know, 6 months later do a love story. I can do it all, you know, just get myself prepared and get into the character, and it's no problem.
Yeah, and please make sure you get yourself into a Tyler Perry movie. I think that would help as well.
Oh, that would be fun. I would love that. That would be great.
I could totally, just because of your sense of humor, I could totally see you in, you know, those type of movies too. You know,
that would be awesome. That's something to tell my agent. He's got to start submitting me for some Tyler Perry films. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you know, get you to some, like, because it's kind of like Gary Owen, for example. You know, like, he has a very interesting audience. His audience is just from, you know, all different, you know, types of backgrounds, and just like your audience is the same way. I mean, you have all these psycho women who are just crazy, you know, about you being on these covers, and I definitely want to meet one of your fans someday, because I know, you know, there are people who know too much about you.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just not healthy at all. Like, there's some, like, I read about some of the blog posts, you know, these women like write about you, and they, you know, they're like, "Oh my gosh, he's like so dreamy, and I would like pass out if I ever saw him," and I'm like, okay, if you pass out, I'm gonna leave you there.
I've heard all that stuff too, and it's funny when I read that stuff and I get the emails. Like, I get a lot of fan mail every day, and when I read the mail and stuff like that, it's very complimentary. I appreciate the compliments, but I'm like, to myself, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm just John Antorino, but to them, I'm cover model, actor, sex symbol, all that stuff. But to me, I don't look at myself like that. I mean, I know what I do for a living. I'm proud of all my work, but I'm like, okay, it's okay, relax, everything's fine. It's fine.
And that's why, you know, I appreciate that, because I feel like, you know, you have all these accomplishments and all the attributes that, you know, I feel that a real man should emulate that, definitely. But, no, I always appreciate talking to you. I know these crazy fans of yours will be like, "You got to have him on again, but non-Valentine's Day related. I want to know everything about him." And I'm like, okay, if you want to know everything, there's something called a restraining order. And
oh, boy. You know, the sad part is, though, I meet a lot of guys in my industry, and I work with them and stuff, and it's funny because it's like they're totally different than me. Their whole thought process of everything, of the fan mail and the attention and all, you know, all that stuff that goes along with what we do. And they let it get to their heads, and they're not so humble about it, and to me that annoys me. But, you know, I just have to just be myself and just continue to be who I am and live the way I live. You can't change people, you know, but I mean, it's funny because I see the people that I work with, and I hear the way they talk and the way they act. I'm like, my God, I'm so different than everyone.
That's why I'm making sure I take you off the market, then. No play.
Funny, thanks.
I'm taking you off the market so that I can have all these, you know, some of these psycho fans of yours, you know, come after me. And, you know, I got to turn my life into some Lifetime movie or something to make a profit. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much, John, for being on the show once again. I really appreciate it. And, of course, is there anybody you'd like to shout out, anything you want people to know?
Definitely want to shout out the young guy that I'm doing the charity event for, Cody. Stay strong, Cody. Get well soon. His family as well. Stay strong. Everyone stick together. You know, God bless you guys. I want to say Happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies out there. And I want to thank you for having me on again. And just have a great day, everyone.
Hey, John, I really appreciate it. Like, you have become one of my best buddies now. So, you know, if anytime guys acting crazy on me, I'm gonna have you on speed dial.
Send them over. I'll take care of them.
Like, I know John Antorino. He's gonna take you out. You might want to check yourself.
No problem.
Thanks so much, John. Take care.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Take care.
I always feel so honored and just so grateful to be able to talk to John. He is once again a wonderful, deep, down-to-earth kind of guy. Make sure you check out his official website, which is at johnantorino.com, as well as he has a Facebook page, which is at facebook.com/John Antorino. I have a whole bunch of other interviews coming up within the next couple of weeks, so please bear with me. It does take a lot of time and effort to put together this show, and it does take time to do edits, because editing does take a long time when it comes to making videos, because I believe in having patience when it comes to making videos of the utmost quality and doing interviews that really have purpose and meaning. So thank you once again for watching. I am your host, Belajan Quita, and please follow this show on Twitter, which is at twitter.com/SendTVNow. And you can also follow me personally at twitter.com/BelajanQuita. And I am your host, Belajan Quita, once again. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to get smart and stay informed.